You've been told your entire life that a six-figure salary is the ultimate finish line. Get to $100,000 a year, and you'll finally make it. You'll finally be secure, respected, and free. But here's what no one's telling you. In 2026, that $100,000 salary might be the most expensive trap Gen Z will ever fall into. And if you're chasing this number right now, you need to understand exactly how it's designed to keep you poor. So if you're serious about building actual wealth, hit that subscribe button, because we're about to break down the illusion. Let's start with the math that nobody talks about. When you land that six-figure job, your brain releases dopamine. You imagine the apartment upgrade, the car payment, the nice dinners out. You see yourself in that corner office or at that standing desk in a trendy co-working space. But the moment that salary hits your account, the system activates. Landlords know you make $100,000. They raise rent. Your bank suddenly approves you for a much larger mortgage. Credit card companies send you premium cards with higher limits. Afterpay and buy now pay later apps show you exactly how you can afford that designer handbag or those luxury sneakers right now, with installments spread across months. This is the trap's genius. It's not that you can't afford these things on a $100,000 salary. It's that you can afford all of them at once. The problem is that six figures sounds like real money until taxes hit. You're looking at roughly 30 to 40% gone before you even see it. That leaves you with about $60,000 after federal, state, and FICA taxes. Now you're dividing that by 12 months. That's $5,000 per month to cover everything. Here's where it gets dangerous. You rent a two-bedroom apartment in a decent neighborhood for $2,000 a month. That's 40% of your gross income, which financial advisors say is the absolute maximum. But you're thinking in net income, not gross. You've already lost the money. Your student loans kick in at $400 monthly. Your car payment, because you upgraded when you got the job, is $500. Insurance, gas, and maintenance add another $300. Groceries and dining out, because you're too busy and tired to cook, $500. Now we're at $3,800 a month before utilities, phone, internet, streaming services, and the occasional emergency. You're not even at credit card spending yet. You're already at 80% of your monthly net income. But you felt like you could spend more because of that six-figure number. You went out and created obligations that lock you into that job, in that city, on that salary for the foreseeable future. This is the psychological cage. Your income has increased, but your flexibility has decreased. You can't take a sabbatical. You can't negotiate aggressively with your employer because you're terrified of losing that number. You can't start that business idea you've been thinking about for 3 years because missing even one paycheck could trigger a cascade of late payments. You've traded freedom for the appearance of success. Generation Z was raised on social media highlight reels. You watched influencers and celebrities with 6- and 7-figure incomes and thought if you just reached that number, you'd join them. But what you didn't see was that those people often have 6- and 7-figure expenses too. The difference is that many of them have multiple income streams, business investments, and tax strategies you don't have. They're not living on a single W-2 salary. You're comparing your financial foundation to someone else's entire financial empire. The trap deepens when you realize that a $100,000 salary in 2026 has dramatically different purchasing power than it did 10 years ago. Inflation has eroded what that money actually buys. Housing costs have skyrocketed. Healthcare hasn't become cheaper. Childcare costs as much as a car payment in most major cities. You're making what sounds like a fortune, but you're actually making less in real terms than someone making $80,000 made in 2015. But there's another layer to this trap that's even more insidious. The moment you hit 6 figures, your peer group shifts. You're now surrounding yourself, even unconsciously, with other 6-figure earners. You're shopping where they shop, eating where they eat, vacationing where they vacation. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's the reason most lottery winners go broke. When everyone around you makes $100,000, you don't feel rich anymore. You feel normal. And normal requires certain standards. You see your colleague wearing a certain luxury watch, and suddenly you want it. Not because you need it, but because it signals that you've made it. You visit a friend's new apartment in a better neighborhood, and now your current place feels inadequate. Someone mentions their weekend trip to a destination wedding in Mexico, and you're already calculating whether you can make it work financially. This is the comparison trap inside the salary trap, and it's where most six-figure earners lock in their mediocrity. Let's talk about what actually builds wealth, because it's not a six-figure salary. Wealth is built through net worth, not gross income. Net worth is your assets minus your liabilities. A person making $60,000 with no debt, 5 years of living expenses saved, and consistent investments in index funds has dramatically more wealth than someone making $100,000 with $40,000 in car debt, $50,000 in student loans still outstanding, and zero emergency fund. The $100,000 trap is specifically designed to keep your net worth flat or even negative. Every dollar you make above your basic needs gets allocated to maintaining the appearance of success rather than building actual success. You're trapped on the hedonic treadmill. You make more, you spend more, and you end up with the exact same level of financial stress you had when you made $50,000. This is why some of the wealthiest people you'll ever meet make significantly less than $100,000 on paper. They own businesses. They own real estate. They have investments that compound year after year. They drove a paid-off Honda Civic for 8 years while their peers were financing luxury cars. They didn't upgrade their apartment every time they got a raise. They didn't let lifestyle inflation consume their paychecks. So what's the way out? First, you have to see the trap clearly. Understand that 6 figures is not the finish line. It's not even close. It's a waypoint. You've got to have a plan for what happens after you reach it. If you reach it and immediately expand your lifestyle to match, you failed before you've started. You need to decide right now that you're going to keep your expenses at 50 or 60% of your net income, not 80 or 90%. That's genuinely difficult, especially when your salary suddenly jumps. Everyone around you is upgrading. Everyone's telling you that you've earned it. But you haven't earned financial security yet. You've just earned a higher-paying job. Second, start thinking in systems, not salaries. A 6-figure salary is a single point of income from a single employer. You have zero redundancy. One layoff, one health issue, one major market downturn, and you're devastated. Build multiple income streams. Create a side project. Invest in index funds regularly. Buy real estate carefully. Build systems that generate income without your direct involvement. Third, stop comparing your financial life to others, especially on social media. You don't know anyone's full picture.